just a little after 9 a.m. and we are on Dominion side. Yes, I know it's been a long time coming as far as doing a full-fledged Dominion house tours episode, but I guarantee you it has been worth the wait. I've been hunting pretty heavily the last couple of days, and I've come across a few gems that I hope you guys will enjoy. I'm just going to tweet this real quick. I can call up the file. I usually have this already ready. What I usually do is I have it ready to go, and then I forget to tweet anyway. So anyway, there we go. We are good. Okay, so we are starting on Deida Rix's plot, Deep Tricky Base. I'm not too deep on the Trekkie lore, so I don't know if a lot of this is really based on anything specific other than the ship that you can see over there, which we will be taking a look at a little bit later. We're going to be touring the base itself first, but slow down the run here. I came across this yesterday and I thought, I know there's going to be a lot of people that will enjoy seeing some of the bits of it, help them give ideas if they're working on some kind of a spaceport, starship kind of thing. We don't have a lot of pipes and things. We have some, but not a whole lot. And just kind of figuring out how to use these cylinders and curved tubes in the way that they happen to be using them quite a bit on this plot gives some idea that you can go a little further than maybe you would originally if you just kind of stick with these kind of pipes. So here we have a little hangar. I don't know if it's meant for like repairs or what. He's got a little welder here working on it, so I guess that's what it is they're repairing it. Maybe they're building it, I don't know. Here we have a few actually in motion, kind of. Either it looks like they're landing. I guess they're coming in for repairs. So you have this little landing strip here. I think those are the exile, the lights, that the new ones. I'm not sure if those are from the Sim Chase event or not. Could be, but here we have a fellow working on a little mechanical arm that lifts all of these cargo bits. And I think this is some of the new Sim Chase stuff that they've put together. I don't know if that's really what it's supposed to look like or it's creation of their own. Looks like the little welder is kind of inside the ship, though. That looks a little odd. I'm just kind of going around the perimeter here first before we get into the actual. Because yesterday when I was walking around inside here, I kind of got lost a couple of times because just the way that they have it set up, it's a little confusing for me. It's not got a linear. I like the graffiti on that one, but you can see it's a pretty big structure. I'm guessing maybe the structure was already there, and then when we had the free-to-play transition and they had to expand it, there's a good shot of the ship there, that they've just slowly started adding in things around the edges. That's probably why the edges are fairly barren. I suspect eventually they'll probably extend the base itself. But you can see the ship. It's a lot of, looks like orange cylinders for the arms of it up here, orange walls, and the cylinder bits for the base. Some of the phage platforms or the main part of it. Morning Bones, glad you could join us. It looks like the hanging, I think it's the hanging fancy lamp for the engine bits back here, and then they've got a porthole window for the back one on this one. Anyway, we're going to just kind of step off inside here. Let me hop on my little, not that it's going to go much faster, but so here you have the main entrance for it. It's a little kind of lifted. Again, I think it's before the free-to-play that this probably existed, so it kind of gives me the impression that maybe the ground, you know, prior to free-to-play, the ground was pretty contoured. So you had some places on the plot that was a little higher than others, and I suspect that might have been the reason why this is like lifted like it is. Once free-to-play hit, everything became perfectly flat, even though a lot of people were kind of hoping they would give us a choice of either or when it came to it. But so here you have like the entrance, but it's also like a seating area so that you can watch, I guess, them repairing, building, getting ready to take off with this thing. The Enterprise, I guess, is what it's called. Here you have the little security station where you check in, and a little lobby. They've managed to find a lot of NPCs to help populate this place to kind of liven it up a little bit. They've got a lot of little displays of different artifacts that they've collected. Here's the bathroom. And again, I got lost in here, so I may be going round and round several ways here. This is one of the exits to the exterior. And here it looks like you have a line of people, like he's got his little briefcase, and this one's got some fuel. This one's carrying a holiday wreath. They found fun ways of kind of making it look like they're checking in their luggage or whatever on the conveyor belt. Putting it in for storage or something, getting it, you know, checking it in to get it on one of the shuttles or something. Here you have a little display. Oh, my nose is itching real bad. I got a funny little lop hanging out there just by its lonesome. Here we have another kind of security thing. This one's a little bit more extensive. They got a lot of armed guards and a little scanner set up. I'm just going to zip on through there. You can kind of see a little bit of the area down below where the main house is, the garden and everything. It's not your traditional spaceport where a lot of times folks kind of stick to where you have to have like an airlock or something, and you would pretend like you would put on your special gear or something. This just doesn't have that same feel. It's not like being on an asteroid or something, but they got a lot of interesting little arrangements. There's some lounge areas, and got some views of the outside. Little library area. I don't think there's any like there's the personal house is the main house down below, but the rest is more like a community thing. So if you're wanting to role play that you're going for a trip or something, this would probably be a spot to do it. Let's see. I think from yesterday's little snooping around, the best way to get to the little house was to come out here. Yeah. See, I can see that it's probably like they need to extend that out. They've got like things visible here that you probably wouldn't want to see. Hey, Soccer Top and Maddie, glad you guys could join us. here are the fab kits, the garden fab kits, and they've just added some white picket fencing to kind of box it in, and the crafting station. And then over here, kind of like, I don't know, the generator area. And then they've boxed off the house part. Over here. This was the only way I could figure out how to get to it. So then you have a little personal area here. Not too decorated, but it's just a way of seeing how someone else divides up their room. Sometimes folks find it troublesome with these little round houses on how to build extra floors and such. So coming and taking a look at what other people have done is helpful. Even if it's not in a way that you want to build it, it'll still lend you some ideas. Let's see, I think I'll take the stairs up. Oops, stuck under the bottom here. This is like the little prisoner section, so they even have a little NPC inside the cage. Yes, this is the medical bay part of it. See what I mean by there's a lot of little rooms that yesterday when I was running around, I was like, where am I? It's so lost. That goes up, comes out into another lounge area. I guess this is more like the bar disco something with the with lots of levels. Wow. Okay, so how do I get to the... Saw some stairs going up, so there's even a higher part. Let me meander my way there. See how this is kind of empty. I imagine they're probably in the process of expanding it out to accommodate for free to play. While some of us are pretty adamant about Sure, soccer. I've been there a couple of times trying to mess with the tree. In fact, I was meaning to go there yesterday and finish filling in the tree, but yeah, I can drop by later. I guess this is like a control station where they're probably monitoring the ships that are coming in, things like that. Okay. And I think that's everything other than the main jewel to this plot. Let me see. Let me go over here. There's another little like control station thing. Looks like he's jump starting the wall there. There's a good shot of the ship here. Here we go. And they have a little bridge that you go out to, and this gets you to the interior of the main part. And it looks like maybe it's converted into just a lounge area. I thought this would be where the bridge and stuff would be, but they've put it elsewhere. So that tells you how much I know about the Trekkie stuff. But it's like a little, I don't know, diner kind of thing, because here's like a little taco stand and you get your yum-yums and carry on. And it looks like, you know, they're planning on adding some other little areas. Maybe that's where the kitchen's going to be, or a VIP lounge or something. Here's another one, little bed lounge thing. They got all these little rooms built in. And I thought it was kind of nicely done as far as being able to use these phage platforms. I have a couple of them myself and really rarely use them in anything because, I don't know, I just don't have the imagination on that part. But it looks like these are Cassian pillars. I could be wrong about that, but that's what it looks like. It reminds me. and then dome or hollow dome caps for the ends there. Let's see, there's a little walkway here that we can go inside the belly of this part. This is the, if I can get a shot of it. Come on, just hop up there. Well, it looks like it's covered with glass. That's probably why my camera doesn't want to zoom out. But this is the bottom part where I guess all the engine stuff is located. A lot of strange little bits. I think that's a early warning system, the top of it, and rockets in here. I don't know what these bits are. Yeah, it looks like the Cassian pillars. Those arms. And this is the little walking path here is one of the metal planks. Let's see. Now to get to the other part, I think you actually have to go to the outside and get to it from that ladder that we saw on the other end. This is where we went inside just now. And there's actually a part up here that you can go in, and I think that's access to that ladder right here. Made a new house. Well, I'll have to definitely check that out. Yeah, I just don't get over onto the Dominion side very often. I know that's bad, but I just spend most of my time working on Exile side. I come over, I try to go about once a week just to kind of do some random tours, because I'm always looking for new homes on Dominion side, and since there seem to be fewer and farther between as compared to the Exile side, you know, I try to make an effort to come along every week just to see if I can find him. So here's the very tip top. You can see they've composed that of, I think it's the another one of the phage platforms, but then they've used the cover part pieces to kind of finish it off. And then this would be the bridge area. I thought it was nicely done. They've got a lot of tablets for the little area here. It looks like just Cassian pillars and then 2x4s lining around. It's a nice clean way of making it following that shape. Lots of Oran walls and floors and triangles. And then look, the ones that I said that looks like fuel pumps they use as a chair. I thought that was a nice, you know, I see a lot of people trying to make like thrones and things. And this is a nice one, a nice use of the phage, technophage stuff. I don't know, the pink is really kind of out there, and most of the time I don't have any kind of reason to use it, but they've really incorporated it nicely, I think. I like the little control stand here with the advanced thermometers, and again, lots of the pink, even around here around the trim. I thought it was a cute thing. So there you go. That is Daida Rix's Deep Trekkie base. Let me see if I can get one last shot of this ship here without dying. Long drop. I probably will never have a decent house on my Dominion character. I think he's got a little house, but it's like there's nothing there. But there's a fairly good shot of it. Almost looks like a donut, like a pink donut. But I thought it was clever. If you're wondering what these bits are, I think it's again, it's the combination of the early warning system, and it looks like one of those protostar. Oh, I don't know what they're called. It's like looks like a dish with some of that animation going on. But Definitely not an easy shape to kind of build, but I think they did a decent job of it. Especially making it, where you can walk inside and everything. A lot of times it's easier to kind of make the shape and keep it solid, but they've actually made it so that you can go up in it. Okay, so off to the next one. Let me write that down. I'm gonna have to take a look. Of course, I probably won't be able to read my scribbling later. Okay, so the next one we're going to visit is Magpie Mo. Now, several weeks ago, we visited a similar themed plot on Exile side. I believe Lemmy Tiert was the name of that one. And then, of course, last week we visited uh, a theme from the same game. That one was based on Stormwind, and this one is another version of Booty Bay. Like I said, Lemmy Tiertz did one on Exile side of Booty Bay, and we visited it already. But I came across this one the day before yesterday, and I thought this would be a nice one to show off. It's again, it's someone's interpretation of Booty Bay. If you're familiar with World of Warcraft and have ever been down in Stranglethorn, you'll know, you'll recognize this right away. Um, they've added quite a bit of it. I mean, there's bits that you obviously see that are kind of not visible, like the little island where the giant would be and everything. But I think they did, like the other place, a really good version of it. Um, Trying to make something look like something that's familiar is both um, easy and hard, if that makes sense. It's easy because if you get it pretty close, then people will really more quickly recognize what it is. But then they start kind of picking at a lot of the details. Well, you don't have this, and how come you didn't build that, and that kind of thing. Like when I did the Tangled theme plot, a lot of people were wondering why I didn't do Maximus, because I had found a way to put in the little chameleon, but I didn't have the space for Maximus, which I had considered making it, but yeah, so there's pros and cons to putting a build together that is based off of something that folks are familiar with. So just keep that in mind when you attempt something of that nature yourself. Um, the closer you can kind of keep to the detail, the better. If you can really go all out with making it really feel just like what you're trying to build, the better. But just because of the limitations that we have, the core that we have available or not available, you have to make concessions here and there. But I think this one did a really good job. It's a lot of recognizable little areas where we have all of the little vendors and trainers. And they took the time to fill in each little hut, with some kind of indication of what it was. Ugh. What's the old saying? If your nose itches, you're gonna have company or something. I'm not expecting any company, but never know. I'm just going through each little hut. Um, while I do play World of Warcraft, I couldn't possibly name exactly all of the things. I mean, I know in general where the bank and the flight path and stuff are supposed to be, but like I assume this is the herbalism trainer house thing with all the plants, but whether or not that's completely accurate, I don't know. think this is where one of the griffins would be located. But I like the effort put into putting all this together. A lot of bottles and stuff. Even the landscaping, you know, they took the time to put in a lot of stones and the waterfalls and everything. So here's the inn, I believe. Yeah, like a bar slash inn tavern thingy. And this is one of those builds that they've just, there's a lot of materials used. I mean, there's curved walls, decking, um, the staircase landings, the new rope bridges that we have, um, the regular fencing, just a lot of things. You can pick through. Whoops, got stuck a little bit. And then here's where those two are always hanging out. And this looks to be mostly hover park pieces. Few vintage beer mugs there. And I like the way they use the string lights or the holiday strings with the cards as kind of like the banners that you see in a little town or something. I thought that was a nice addition. Down here you have the bank. Of course, this is where you get the mailbox and everything, and they got the little banker here. Like I said, it's a very similar setup to the one that's on Exile side, but again, this is what I'm talking about. Two people decided to do the same area, Booty Bay, but they don't look anything alike. They're similar because they're based off of the same thing, but the way they've put things together is unique because yeah, they did it differently. They have their own interpretation of it. Yeah, I'm still going through all of these buildings. So many. A lot of little bits and doodads. I think we went to that one. I just went upstairs instead of downstairs. Yeah, I think it's a clever version. I mean, I like the other one too, but like I said, you know, it's always people are afraid of, well, someone's already used that idea, I can't do it. It really doesn't mean that. Yours will more than likely be totally different. I mean, I think even the way they treated the water is different. This one has more kind of a whirlpool look to it, and the other one was more straight. So even that simple little detail is you know, different between the two homes. Oh my God. Just want to detach the nose and put it aside. And so here's that big building where you have the, I guess it's the armor vendors and such. It might be some trainers. I really can't remember. But look, they even made the little shelves out of 2x4s and metal edged bits. So there's a lot of little details here. Look, they use the tables, the upside down round tables as little holders for the bombs. Made little display cases for, you know, we have that Osun weapon rack, but they made their own weapon racks here. And it's little things like that. So you can see that they've given some thought. And here's like a little easel thing for the target. And here's the little, I guess that's the wheel that they sharpen the weapons on. And use the planter pods for, again, more display. Here's their little cooking vendor, I guess. It's just a lot of little things to come and look at, and interesting stuff. See, I think I've seen it all. Even got the little ship stuck out there. Interesting choice of stones as well. And they got grasses and little plants all scattered around out here. And I found it interesting as far as where they uh, positioned everything according to where you zone in. Like the one on Exile side, they actually have their zone in the position of where you come through the cave up into Booty Bay. And this one chose to put it in a different, so when you come in, you're right already in the bay itself. So see, even that, their choice of orientation is a big difference. Yeah, sometimes the detail people can squeeze out, I'm thinking, how did they do that? Because when I start putting in detail like that, I run out of room real fast. But yeah, folks find clever ways of putting things together. Did I go to these buildings back here? I'm not sure. Don't want to miss anything. I hate that so much. Little storage, I think. I guess this is one of the little sneeze coming on now. Oof. So yeah, this is Magpie Mo's Booty Bay. I thought they did a really good job, and I wanted to be sure and show it off for them. Again, they may not be done. There may be things that they're still trying to add. You know, when folks say that their plot is done, I'm thinking, yeah, right. Because every time we get new stuff added, there's always things you think, I could use that for this, or you know, find a better use for something else. Um, but I like the little construction of the houses. The houses are pretty all much the same, and they're using the tiki roofs for the roofing and decking for most of the walls and uh, staircase landings for most of the floors. But this one is a little bit different. It's that bigger building where most of the armory and stuff is located. And that's a lot of, I think it's granite walls, exile walls for the red, and then just kind of cinched together with pillars. I think it's the exile pillars. Might be the Oran version. They're kind of similar. But yeah, so on to the next one. Yeah, that's the trouble with custom houses, soccer is they kind of go in really, they become expensive as far as decor goes. Excuse me. So the next one on our list is, pardon me, is Jam Jams. Now, they actually posted a thread in the forum with some pictures of their place. And I'd had it on my list to visit. It's just that I was waiting for some others to, you know, rather than just keep it to one house, I was trying to go for several. And so finally I have enough. And so we're here at Soggy Bottom. I love the name of it. This is Jam Jam's little swamp build. And I love even the way that they covered up the teleport pad here. There's a lot of overgrowth and even cactuses here. You wouldn't necessarily associate cactuses with a swamp, but the colors and just all of the way that they used it really works nicely. But I think the bottom of this, it's reminiscent of this green bulby tree that they're using here. It looks like the same thing that they've just tilted on the side. And then they've even got some bits of wood showing. So straight away, you get the notion that this is an overgrown, swampy bit. I mean, you can see it just looks totally uh, a mess is what it kind of looks like. I like this little idea that there's like this little map of the place to kind of guide you around the plot. But I do forewarn, I will probably get lost in here because the first couple of times I came to visit, I had trouble finding everything that I was hoping to find. But you'll see what I'm talking about. It's easy to get mixed around in here. So here they're using these little planks as their pathway, and that's a great way to kind of steer your visitor through your plot if you have something like this. It's kind of more, I hate to say the term loosey-goosey because it sounds weird, but that's kind of how it is. It's a way, if you have a very non-linear plot, pathways are very helpful. But you can see they've made extensive use of the water because obviously it's supposed to be like a soggy little swamp-like area. So here we have a little camping place. Lots of use for the Pell tents. I have a couple, still haven't used them. But I like the little bedding areas. They've just used those new curved stones with the little emblem on it. And it's like a little comfy pad. It doesn't look like a stone. It looks like a strange little sleeping bag arrangement to me. There's one little area. And then they use the new boardwalks to get you up into the higher parts of this area. Look, is that like a TARDIS thing going on down there? I'll have to take a look. So now you have the ones that are above ground on these little platforms. Maybe these are the VIP areas where the higher ups get to be on dry land rather than down into the watery, soggy areas. Again, it's just decking pieces. They got some granite fencing going on to kind of border it. Ladders for the walkways here. Good place for a camping trip, I think. Oops. Okay, not that way. I get lost. Now there's a ladder going down here, but I don't know where it leads. It leads to anything specific or just, maybe this is a good fishing spot? I don't know. It's a good place to take pictures, sit out and just kind of watch the water. This is the top of the, I don't remember what this is called, the horn fab kit, like where there's like a little horn or something you blow up here. I don't remember what it is. They kind of, I think they've added bits to it themselves. Yeah, see there's a horn there. Okay, so I think I'm already turned around as to where we came in the first time. Okay, so that was the little camping area. Let's go this way. This is part of the gloomier side of this plot. This is their little gallows. They've got these little, I guess it's flesh-eating plants down below for the leftovers. And then they've got all these chains and things. And, that's a fun way of kind of making up for not having enough of these nooses. They are kind of rare. I'm always on the lookout for them, but you don't see them too often on the auction house. I don't even really know where they drop. I suspect they're just a rare world drop, but if you don't have enough nooses, put one up and then just do like they did with the chains. That's a nice way of kind of finishing off. I'm going to go over here just to see what this thing is. It looks like the TARDIS. What it reminds me of anyway. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be like, but that's what it it's just a strange. I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. It looks like that, what is it, the Doctor Who or something thing where he does his little traveling. Just made out of Cassian floors. I think that's a container, a corrugated container, and then the metal wall dividers. Just something I spotted and it's just sitting there. It's just kind of weird. Okay, so then we go on around and they have the little fab kit. I guess it's the one where you jump up and try to get to the top. I don't know. Looks like it. Either that or it's just a really good makeshift of it. Let's see. This way. Here we have another little village area. This one's been built on stilts, which it looks like it's just a combination of the fences, the wooden fences. One's just turned upside down and positioned so that it looks like really high stilts. I think that's a clever way of doing it. You could use Cassian pillars if you prefer. I think that's what I did with mine. Again, the roofs are the tiki roofs, and then using a lot of the decking. Here you have a little kitchen and a little sleeping, sitting area. Nice big little house. Big little. Kind of contradictory, I guess. A little porch. Notice they've got fencing all around um, this little area. Yes, this is supposed to. Maybe it's the head honcho of the plot. That's where he lives, but there's a lot of this fencing on here. Don't know what it's called exactly. It's probably Falcon or something. Okay. Lots of dry logs for that little concoction there. I like this little bit where the water's coming out of a little disturbing with the corpse inside there. Like they're draining it for the fluids. That's kind of nasty. So here we have another little structure. This is a little bit bigger building. I wouldn't say it's castle-like, but that's what it kind of reminds me of because of, I guess probably because of the windows that they chose to use and just how it's assembled, you know, several tiers and got like little towers and things. So there's a lot of little buildings here. We'll see what all's in it. You got a little seating area. And this is just using a hollow dome and then putting in a lot of little pillows and stuff for cushioning. Any goodness. That leads to a little mushroom farm. Here we wonder what that's for. Lots of decking stairs for this little trek. Apologies if I'm making anyone dizzy. So we reached the second floor inside this one. The eating, sitting area. Notice they use a lot of different materials for this. I mean, this is Draken walls. For floors, this is a drake and arch, and then that's a granite version, I think, of walls. 2x4s. It's just a mishmash of materials. It could be that that's what they had on hand, or they purposely built it that way to look like a patchwork kind of building. It's like a little area for something. Here we're at the topmost, and look, they've got this nice little river going on up here. Little bridge. I think that's the hill piece for the hover park pieces. It's a good way to make a quick bridge. And then this leads to what I believe is just the graveyard. There's all kinds of little headstones out here, crypts. Again, they really have done a good job of making it feel really overgrown with all sorts of plants. I couldn't possibly name every type of plant that's out here, but they've used, like I said, they don't just use the plants you would expect to find in a swamp, jungly area. They've got cactuses out here. There's dry and green grasses. There's all sorts of trees. You know, here they've got these nice, I call them orany trees because they're almost like Dr. Seuss. They're kind of curly and nice. Use a lot of the shrubbery and stuff. A lot of nifty bits. But, whoops, did I just fall down? Yeah, I fell down. Okay, let's go to the middle, I guess, or maybe it's just the opposite side. Let's see what's over here. Oh, I apologize, but my nose is just... See what's... A little treasure box. And then go up first. Hard to see what's connected, what isn't connected. Here's another little home. They repeated the seating using rocks as tables. That's a really big, I don't know, maybe that's a bed. Could be a bed. Here's the other, we were on this side and now we're on this side kind of thing. Make sure we don't miss anything on this part. See how they've got just different kinds of trees. I mean, they're even using far side things like with the glowy space suite and just a variety. But it works well. You know, you think, well, does that really work? I don't have any problem with any of the bits that they've included. Just seems to go. Yeah, I think we went, yeah, that's where we came in. So back, finish down. Yeah, here's another kind of repeat of the big seat. Maybe that's the kitchen. Look, they got the little, this is that fab kit with the little kit, the Pumera thing, I think, and they've just built around it and included it into the build. I like that. A lot of thought going into organizing this. Here's some of the Shades Eve stuff, the spore, I guess it's the spore tree, along with all of those dry logs. Okay, trying to make sure I get everything. Let's see. We'll come back to the hatch house here shortly. I just want to make sure we've viewed it all. I think we're missing something. Maybe it's over here. That's where we came in. And I didn't go this way, so let's look. Anything here? Yep, see, we discovered a new thing. Whew. Didn't expect that kind of drop there. Look at this. It's like a little village here. I like the little houses. A lot of, there's like curved walls, exile floors, hover park pieces, domes, all sorts of stuff going on. Oh, look at the detail on this. So this is like a bunker kind of thing. There's lots of little beds. I like the beds. It's just a chew pillow with some, I guess it's a metal edged block for the bed. How simple and perfect is that? I mean, they each get a little chest for their belongings. And notice it's kind of like a wall sconce kind of thing with these candles on the shelf there. I like that. It's a nice, almost like the seven dwarfs live here. Wow, isn't that creepy? I think that's a combination of the Draken Monument and the spiked headstone or grave or whatever. So here's another one. Guess this is the community bathing house. You come and spend a little time in the water and then lounge around on the pillows. I don't know what they're using for the round bits. I guess it's hover park pieces or something. I don't know. Looks like little barrels. Okay, next one. Just checking what's in between each. This one's got a little horned beast on there, so I guess it means it's a little bit more important. So this is the banquet hall. And look at the chairs. It's just a stone with a cushion on it, but it works for the way that the place is built anyway. It just looks suitable. That's a really grand banquet table. They've got all kinds of things. Look at that pile of cheese, pile of toast. Here's the big guy's chair. And the table itself is just several picnic tables lined up. Nicely done. Oops, got a little excited there. Here's their makeshift wishing well. We've seen a lot of people do different versions. We've seen some where they use the books for the little roofing. This one they just use exile floors, 2x4s for some of the structure of it. The hollow tubes, and then double it up to give it some thickness. And then of course using the buckets on the chain. It'd be more sensible if we had a bucket with the little handle up, but I guess that's asking too much to have several different versions of the bucket. Nice little job of that though. Okay, so this one has another like little light, so again, I think it's a little significant. So this appears to be their bar. I like the little chain wall partition there, kind of like a divider. And this has some really good mood lighting. For someone to come up, do their little stage act. A really nice use of lighting. I like that a lot. Even the little decoration that they've got here is nicely done with the habanero roses or whatever they're called. Blooms. It's a really nice use of light. You know, so many of us, including myself, are very bad about that kind of stuff. But in here, little hidey hole. Maybe I wasn't supposed to go in there, but it looks like a little secret meeting place or something. I like that. But here's another one that, again, it's got this nice prominent little decoration in front, so it kind of gives it, you know, a bit of importance. What is it? This looks to be like where the head honchos come to. Look at that. Look at that. That's a nice little throne there, using the Draken curved fence for the seat itself. I like that's a clever use for the fencing there. But yeah, this looks like the powwow room for the bigwigs. They come and chat it up. Got the creepy floaty lady in there. And I think we're coming up on the last building. It looks to be just a big bedroom for someone. Notice they're using a lot of the same materials. You see a lot of the skulls and Draken materials, but every one of them has a different feel to it. It doesn't feel too, you know, it doesn't feel repetitive at all, even though a lot of the materials are being used over and over. So yeah, I like that. That's a nice little hidden village thing. Okay, I think that's everything on the exterior. I hope. If not, my apologies, but I'm thinking that was it. So now we can go off into the bunker house, which in all honesty, the last time that I came to visit, I could not find that thing. I don't know why. I guess I was just thinking it was somewhere else, but here it is. It's like very visible, and yet I missed it the first time I came out here. Notice this little archway here. That's just the tiki bar, if anyone's wondering what that is made out of. It's the tiki bar used as the bridge, little archway kind of thing. So off into the bunker house, and then you get a different kind of a feel. It's hazy. For why, I don't know, but it kind of works. Just kind of got that little, almost a dreamy aspect. So you have the little dish rack and the water trough being used as the sink to wash the stuff in. You have this nice little kitchen and eating area. They really go all out with the details as far as putting, you know, loading the table up with all kinds of things. The creepy floaty lady, oh, I'll show that again here. It's just one of those Eldon statues that kind of hovers a little bit. She's kind of hiding off in the bushes. So here's the bathroom. I like how they've kind of gone with the nautical theme for it. So you have this interesting little design on the wall, a tub full of water. Basically, I think that's just one of the waterfalls. It's kind of inset, and they've used the waterfall for the faucet here, which I believe is just the garden hose part that's showing. Notice they're using the pumpkin candy bucket for a flower pot. And the chains are really great if you're looking for, it reminds me of like a beaded curtain. Those are really good because they have no collision whatsoever. They're awful if you're wanting to use them as like fencing of some sort, You're making it, because I did that with the pirate house I built for a guildmate. I used that, and people just walk right off of it because there's absolutely no collision. But in cases like this, it works perfectly because you can just go straight through it, even though it looks a little solid or something. Notice their little towel, rather than using the lop towels or the striped towels that we have, they just use the white drape, the hanging drape for it. You know what it is, and that's what matters. Okay, so off into the next room. This looks like just kind of a little uh, seating area. And it looks like someone had put up a tree and either was busy disassembling it or got mad and decided to destroy whatever they had. It's laying on the ground. It's got this little star that's made out of, I think that's the Dominion emblem with a couple of golden arrows. For the lights, it's just the party lights. Little bombs for the ornaments. And of course, it's just laying down like it's been tossed over. Poor little tree. So here we have the cushion room. I don't know if it's really called that. That's what I call it. But lots of pillows. You got lots of plushies. It's one way to show off your plushies. I get stuck here. I'm trapped. Can't get out. Yeah, I think it's that one. It just kind of hovers a little bit, but they've kind of like got it tucked into the grass and bushes, so it looks like a creepy, creepy floaty lady. Here's a little lounge reading area. Notice they're using different wall setups to kind of give each room a little bit of its own character. And then up the stairs we go. That's just the hanging clock, if you're wondering what that is. Never noticed the numbers before. Here. Go this way. Here's somebody's bedroom. Look at a mailbox in there. Yeah, I think it's this one here. I think it's that one that's sitting outside. It could be a different one, but it's one of them. They kind of like hover and they've got it sitting out. Notice they've got a mix of things. I mean, that's the Shades Eve lamp thing there. Got a nice little heart. Just mix and matched furniture, but it all works well because it's got that those golden accents, which I think they were aiming for. Here's a little library slash target practice, I guess. What are these, like the robots or something from like Will Robinson? Look at those. There's a lot of love put into that. Looks like a lot of domes. And I think those are Dominion fence posts. And then more domes there. Plates. I think it's the metal plates for this part here. A Chewa cup for most of the body. Daleks, I don't even know what that is. Is that what they're called? Oh, from Doctor Who. Well, see, then that probably ties in with TARDIS thing that I saw outside. See, that I don't know anything about Doctor Who. I mean, I know of Doctor Who and I know the other thing, but looks like a tire. Trying to see. It's hard to get the angle just right so you can see the bits. Looks like more of the plates and then the rain gutters are part of that, whatever that is. Their eyeball or something. I don't know. Interesting stuff. I like the little shelf they made here. There's lots of 2x4s. That's the beauty of these things. Those things are so versatile. You can kind of just make them do anything. Did we already go in here? I don't think so. Here's a little noisy lop on his bed. See, again, they give different, this is, I think, part of the actual room wall, and then they just kind of added into it. Very bright and shiny. Perfect for the lop. They go around and shout, "Exterminate." Well, I guess that makes sense. What is that over there? Okay, it's just a thing. So then we go down into this part and keep saying danger. So here you have a little bed area for whoever's working down here. Some zappy zap going on. I guess this is the storage generator area. Kind of gives indication that there's more to the structure. It's even a deeper little zone. The welder's kind of going nuts with the welding tool there. And I think that's it. Odd little plant collection going on. Just gonna make a quick look, make sure we got every little nook and cranny. Yeah, it went there, there. Yep, I think that's it. So that is Jam Jam's Soggy Bottom plot. Like I said, there's a lot going on here, a lot of interesting uses of decor. If you're looking to make a jungle type theme or a swamp or something like that, these kind of plots is definitely worth a visit. Just to kind of get a feel for, again, I envy those that can do really good landscaping with, you know, kind of building in things that it looks full. Mine usually end up looking so empty and barren, even though I've got a lot of decor on the plot. It just looks, I think I just build too small. I think my next big project, if I take on one, I will, instead of using the entire plot, I'm just going to use like a quarter of it and just really go hog wild with, you know, fluffing it out, and maybe it will look something like this, but you know, a fraction of the size, obviously. I think that's what I will try. Okay, so on to the next and final house for today. And that would be Tilda Elroy's plot. I don't remember the name offhand. Oh yeah, The Nothing. Now, I found this yesterday, and a lot of times when I go random house visiting, the name of the plot is one of the first things that catches my eye. If it's like, you know, Bob's house or the most awesome house on EU or something, I tend to kind of ignore those. But if it's like named, you know, such and such as clinical facility or Space Pro 199 or so, you know, something like that. If it's got like a name that you would think that this person had to take the time to kind of think about what they were gonna, I tend to go to those first. But it's kind of a draw on the success of actually finding something that fits the name, because like there's one, I think there's one on Exile side that's called like Bikini Bottom or something, and it's a really wonderful little build. But it doesn't quite fit the name, which I find odd. And again, I don't think this name, The Nothing, really fits this little plot as nicely as something that maybe would be more indicative of what it is. But so I'm glad that I didn't pay too much attention to the name. I didn't think, well, there's nothing there. So I took the leap and I came out for a visit, and I'm glad I did. So here we have basically, I equate it to like a little town, a little village. So here we have basically it's like an orchard. They have little buckets placed around and grasses here and there. They kind of, just kind of gives a nice overall feel that there's some growth going on. But they've got little collection buckets all around. There's a nice little pathway that leads you into the village, which we're going to ignore for the time being. I'm not sure what these are supposed to represent other than maybe an old fence wall that used to be there, and it's just kind of dwindled down to a few stones scattered about. But you can see out here, they've just got, you have the one type of orchard here, and then you have another version here. And then you've got this really overgrown hayfield. It's nice use of the grasses. I very rarely use the grasses because usually when you put them in, they're so tall, your character disappears and it doesn't really fit well. But here it works because obviously, it's supposed to be really tall hay, grass, whatever you call it. Out here, it's just, again, they change the type of trees to use in each little location, but it doesn't seem odd. They got this little storage area. It looks like a little hobo camp or something. And I like how, even though it's kind of an open plot, there's not a lot of mountains and water features and such. They still find, here's like this really big structure, but that makes it a little bit more pronounced rather than having the entire plot surrounded by that. They've just got this one little place where it is, and I think that makes it even more special. It's not that those that use it all the way around are bad. For them, it works. I think this works well for this particular plot just because of the way they built up everything else. But here you could have like a little camping party or something. I think the little part that they're using here to make it solid is just another hay pile, and then they've covered it with grass. Cover up the fact that they're using it, but I like the way that they've stacked the stones. We've got a little antenna over there. I'm going to go check it out. Make sure we don't miss anything interesting. Oh, that's like lousy jumping for you. I'm really bad at the platforming, so forgive me. One of the reasons why I don't really showcase jumping puzzles and mazes and stuff, because I am so bad at them. There's a nice overview of what. See, it's sparse, but I don't know, it works. I think it works nicely. You don't have to overdo your plot to make it look nice. So here they have a little, kind of like a dock, little pier or something. So you could have somebody fishing off of this part. Maybe there's some salmon or something come through. Little cooking area for a picnic. Notice they don't add a lot of detail. That's okay. Sometimes, it's all right to leave it kind of not unfinished, but undefined, because then, if you want to just have a meeting out here, you can have it. If you want to come and role play that there's food on the tables or something, you can, use your imagination. This leaves it open for a variety of uses than just having, beer and cheese on the table all the time. I like this little wood cover thing. It's just curved exile wall with 2x4s. A simple construction, but it looks cute. You don't see that a lot. It would work for wood. It could be like a little, maybe a pin for mounts or something if ever we get some NPC ones. Um, a little cover for some bikes or, you know, who knows what. You put a bench there and make it like a little covered bench for somebody sitting and watching. This is, of course, just the Wishing Well Fab Kit, but I'm sure it inspires a lot of people when they build their own. Okay, here we have a little, I guess it's supposed to be a mill of some sort, and I don't know what kind of mill. I think this is a balloon. That's why the string kind of goes wonky. I think it's a balloon inside there, and that's the string we see. I could be wrong. You know, they probably could have used maybe the noose rope if they had one, but like I said, I suspect that one's kind of difficult to get a hold of, so I think that's the string of a balloon. And I don't know what all is being used up there. It looks like a tire, and it's really difficult to see from down here. I know these are, these look to be metal planks that they just laid out in this intricate little circle pattern. I don't know much about mills and stuff, so maybe this is a particular, like a flour mill or something. I don't know. But it goes well with the other silo here. This being the Fab Kit version. Now, I really don't know if they've added anything to this. Hard to tell. I don't think so, but you never know. And then, of course, you've got these little areas here. This is like a little bedroom. Maybe it's the little guest houses or something. A cute idea. You know, the construction is pretty straightforward. You know, it's curved walls, hollow domes, and then a cylinder for the round part. Nice little ideas. And notice they use different pieces, so it's kind of, you know, it's got some sameness to it, but it's changed up enough. I like when people do that. So here we have another little, like a barn type of thing. It looks like a garage. I see the tires on the walls. So this is my, you know, maybe where they repair their hover bikes or buggies or whatever they happen to use. I like how they've got this set up so that, you know, in theory they would click the lever and the little door would go up and down. I like how they've used the, you know, it seems kind of odd that they got this, the little, I guess it's the Chua vendor here, but I think the main reason they wanted it was for the sign. So it works. So here, if we had followed the path directly, we would have come to the main starting area of the little village. I think it's exile pillars for this little archway. And then it goes from the stones to the foreign floors or the pathway around the actual village main. So you have these cute little house constructions. There's a lot of stuff going on here. It's a combination of decking, stairways, and railings. There's pillars, granite walls, granite arches, which is kind of disturbing because the material, the textures are different. I know a lot of people have been fussing about that. Here's a little bedroom. A nice view of the area around. And that's the upstairs one. The downstairs one is accessed here. And I guess this is a little, I don't know, maybe it's the butcher shop. And that's his house above. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So this is where he cooks. And then this is the little shop part where people come and buy their little goods. So you got the butcher shop. This apparently is the bar. The little beer tap coming out. Nice big window for viewing. Let's see, what is this? Looks to be souvenir shop, artifacts, something like that. And the countertops just staircase landings. Simple, but effective. Leaves room for if you want to put some storage here, put a register there. And then this would be probably the personal space of the shop owner. Here's the flower shop. Nice little use of the stairs as a little tiered display for the flowers. 2x4s. Let's see, what's this one? Might be just a regular home. Looks to be a big one too at that. Yeah. Here's, you got a bedroom. Really nice use of windows there. Little desk space. Guess this would be the living room area. Kitchen. And leads out to the little backyard. What's this? Bathroom, maybe? Yep. Toilet, shower. Looks like the rusty chime as the shower head up there. Here's the little center bit. I don't know the name of the tree offhand, but looks like domes or cylinders for the round part. Nice way of kind of centralizing everything around this location. Like the main town area. This looks to be like it's either a school or a meeting hall. Could be either or. And over here you got probably like the little residential area, little homes. Yeah. You can see, it's kind of hard to see, there's the little bed up above, and then just the eatery and sitting area. It's probably the same for each one, but we'll go on each one. Take a look. Now, little bed, eating. Notice they change it up differently. This one for the table, they use the picnic table and the Pell benches. And over here, they've used the Pell benches with a flat metal table. So even with them being kind of repetitive with these little village houses, they mix and match it up so it doesn't look exactly the same for each one. And that's the key when you're kind of doing repeat stuff like this. Don't do it, item for item. I don't know what this might be, the little outhouse. Yeah. community bathroom. It's a nice little construction. There's hoverboard floors or hover park floors, exile floors, triangle pieces, and arches for that whole little construction there. It's a cute little thing. Just leaving all the doors open. Anybody come visiting while I'm here, they're like, wow, there's like. So off to the side is what appears to be the church. Got a little path that leads off to graveyard. And then, of course, we go into the church itself. It's mostly comprised of exile walls, Cassian floors, and triangle pieces to make this kind of intricate roofing up here. Domes or cylinders for the staircase. Go in and voila, lovely little house of worship or whatever, contemplation, whatever you want to call it. And then coming into the last little bit, we have a little area where it's all dedicated to the gardens. You have the actual garden fab kit, and then they've added in some extra little bits. Like here we have a little mini me's growing, little carrot thing. Here you have a little fenced in little garden patch with an arrangement of different flowers and stuff. I would assume this is the gardener's house, the one that tends all the plants. And then you have another little greenhouse type of thing going on here with the more tropical versions of flowers and stuff. All in all, a really cute little build. There's a lot of attention to details here and everything. I'm trying to see if there's, I think we haven't been in here. Yeah, here's like little tool shed, and then you go in here to the barn. And I think this leads to the interior of the bunker house, if I remember rightly. Yeah, you see, did you see it? I'm just going up here real quick to show that there is a little upper part here, but they've got it cleverly hidden. I think it took me a while to figure out where they put it, but the bunker house is here. And this I found to be a little bit more confusing than the upper part. This seems to be like a prison area. There's a lot of armed guards and things. It could be more like maybe it's just their bunker house. They're actually using it as a bunker where they've got a lot of storage and munitions and things like that. Like here's like a little communication room where they're keeping tabs on everything. But the way they've put it together, it feels a little more forced than the upstairs. Like they had more of an idea what they wanted to do with the little town above, but they weren't quite sure what to put down here. Apologies if that's really not the case, but it feels that way. So here you have a little kitchen area, dining, little bathroom, little bunker area for a number of visitors. But it feels kind of mazy almost, that there's not any real definition. I mean, the shapes of the rooms are kind of odd. Here's like a medical area. I guess this would be for a prisoner. Did I already go this way? No. Here's like the war room where they kind of, I guess, work out their plans or something. There's a lot of flickering going on here too. Did I already go this way? Yeah, that's the Prisoner, let's see. See what I mean by the maze feel? It's just there's a lot. Did I go this way? Yeah, okay. So back down, I guess. More storage. And another medical part. I'm not sure what that is supposed to be. I guess more storage. So yeah, it's kind of feels mazy to me. I much prefer the upper part to the bottom. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything because it feels like, yeah, here's another storage. Maybe that's where they build the weapons or something. Kind of unclear. Build the weapons, store the weapons, something like that. So I think that's it. I think that was the entire plot. But like I said, I much prefer the upper part to the bunker house. But you know, sometimes it's difficult to mesh the two together. I know I've had troubles myself in figuring out what's suitable. But I definitely really like the village up above. And it's worth a visit if you're looking for, again, places like this is great to come to when you're looking for ideas on how to construct a home. Uh, you know, the choices of materials that they use. Notice they even make the foundation a little different than the main part of the home. It's just little things like that that a lot of people don't think about. Um, but, you know, they've managed to find different shapes and things to kind of give each little building its little character, even though it blends well with the rest. That's a key thing when you're making a village, I think, is you don't want to look too mishmashy, but you don't want to look too same either. My husband was listening to me talk, and some of the terms I use, and I'm sure he'd be trying to use those as character names, because I say Loosey Goosey a lot, and he has a character named Loosey Goosey. He likes to do that. So if he hears me go same, he'll probably have one named same as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tours. I would like to mention that there is another group that's going to be starting up some tours. I don't know exactly when, but it's going to be Nilia and her group on Dominion side. I believe they're going to be hopping not only through uh, Jabbit homes, but also Entity, because they all have access to that. That's something I've steered clear of. I have enough going on that I don't want to expand my tour group any more than it already is. But be on the watch for that. They've already been getting a lot of submissions in their thread. I think it's called Holy Housing Tours, and looks like it's going to be a fun little project. Um, She's got herself and I think it's 3 of her guildmates that are going to be hosting the show. I don't know how that's going to work. If she's going to have like just on TeamSpeak or whatever they might be using for um, sound, or if they're going to be showing cameras of everybody or what. But should be fun. I think they're planning to hold theirs on Saturdays. Um, like I said, it could change. I don't think they've actually solidified that yet. It probably depend on how all of their schedules kind of mesh up. It's one thing with working with multiple people. You have the scheduling issues to come into play. You know, when people can't be available at the same time, it's kind of tough to get them all together. But yeah, so be looking for that. You know, anything that helps promote housing, I'm all for. And hopefully we don't do a lot of repeats. I'll be kind of keeping an eye on the homes that they visit on Jabbit side, and we'll probably tend to avoid the ones that they cover, unless it's just something that I had already planned to do or something, but it's kind of like what I've done in the past. If a home's already been well adverted to videos of other people or of their own, I tend to avoid those homes. I look for homes that haven't been really showcased yet and try to give them their little time in the spotlight. So I will be kind of watching to see which ones they visit and, you know, try to find different ones to visit for hours. Uh, but um, but yeah, you can find her channel on my Twitch channel page. I have it linked because, like I said, I've been trying to support fellow housing streamers um, like her and, of course, Sparky. He does a lot of building on stream. I say a lot. I don't think he's done anything recently, but he has done several in the past. It's always interesting to watch other people work on their stuff and the issues they come across and the solutions that they find to some of their building problems. I just think it's helpful for folks that are trying to get into it or don't quite get the hang of it to see how some of us that actually are regularly building, how we approach projects and things like that. So, but yeah, the house tour stuff is catching on nicely, and so I hope you guys enjoy not only my show but theirs too. So, bookmark it, uh, follow it, whatever you want to do, keep an eye out for it. I'm sure they'll be tweeting when they do their first episode and whatever. So keep an eye for it and support it, obviously. Um, so yeah, I think that's it for today. It was a nice trip, a big change of pace for Dominion side since we have so much trouble finding nice homes on that side. At least I think a lot of them maybe are just not public, even though they're nice and probably worth a visit. I just don't have access to them. But I will keep my eyes open for some more. And of course, next week we'll hop on back to Exile side and we'll just keep going. As long as people build and come up with new ideas and newfangled stuff to look at, we're going to continue with the tours. And I hope you guys join me then as you did today. Um, Tomorrow we'll probably pick up with the seahorse painting that I'm working on. I just started yesterday. I haven't touched it since then, and I probably won't until tomorrow, so you'll get to see it from start to finish, all completely. But yeah, I think I'm going to head off for today, or at least for now. I've got some things that I got to take care of, but I appreciate you joining me, and I hope you had fun, and it spurred some ideas with some of the things that you saw others put together. And I wish you all a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.